Go ahead, Mr. Genuis.
Thank you, Chair. I want to thank Ms. Block for putting forward this important motion. Look, we have seen across this NDP Liberal government so many examples of outrageous contracting irregularities, and taxpayers are now coming to see the pattern through which their money is wasted. Broken, unfair, unreasonable contracting processes that reward well-connected NDP Liberal insiders and do not deliver value for money. We have seen this pattern over and over again. This committee has done extensive work on the Arrive scam scandal, but we are now seeing that the Arrive scam scandal is the tip of the iceberg. It's part of a larger pattern, which is that we have a government that is focused on paying and rewarding well-connected NDP Liberal insiders instead of delivering efficient, effective results for Canadians. There is so much waste. There is so much in the way of savings to be realized and value to be created by improving the system. And Chair, it's not lost on me, and I think on many Canadians, that many of the people who are at the center of sketchy procurement and contracting questions also happen to be those who are being considered or want to be considered for future Liberal leadership. We've got Minister Anita Anand, the president of the Treasury Board, and all the problems we've seen there. We have the public safety minister responsible for CBSA, where the Arrive scam scandal is happening now, being rumored, and now Minister Joly with the contracting problems at Foreign Affairs. So I would say that these ministers responsible for outrageous procurement problems within their departments,
Randy as well,
who are looking for a promotion in their role, they should come before the committee and provide an explanation for their management of their current roles and the procurement problems that we've seen. So it's a common sense motion, giving Minister Joly an opportunity to be accountable and provide a report to this committee on what has happened. So I hope that members will see the obvious logic of supporting this motion, saying that the minister should come and appear. I'll say, Chair, hopefully not on the 29th as well. You never know with the government. But look, if that's the only time, if she'll come from 8:30 to 10:30 on the 29th, we'll take it. Ministers need to provide responses, and I'll just say as well, this committee has developed, I think, over the months we've been working on this issue, a particular experience and knowledge as it relates to government procurement problems, best practices, and how far this current government is missing the mark when it comes to best practices for procurement. So I think we are ready and well positioned to do this. If somebody is, as the various leadership candidates try to position themselves for being the future leader of the Liberal Party, they should be willing to, in their current roles, come before committee and provide answers. And I'll say as well, this committee has rightly asserted the prerogatives of parliamentary committees when it comes to getting answers from government contractors. Christian Firth was supposed to appear. He refused to appear. He refused summons. Eventually, he appeared before this committee but didn't answer key questions. And as a result of that, we made a report to the House. He was summoned to appear before the House. So it would seem to me that after we've established that we are committed to ensuring that that private citizens who are involved in sketchy government contracting provide answers, we should be equally insistent and equally willing to use the tools that are available to us to assert also that ministers of the Crown who are elected and charged by the executive with running departments and being accountable for them, that we would be equally or more insistent that those ministers provide answers for what happens in their department. If we're going to go all the way in saying that Christian Firth, Darren Anthony, other such people have to provide responses to committees, then we should say the same thing about ministers of the Crown, and not have a dynamic in which cover is provided for ministers not being accountable for those activities. So I hope we see consistency from this committee, that we expect the same accountability of ministers as we have asked for from private citizens involved in contracting. So I'll look forward to seeing where members land on that. And Chair, I'll wrap up my remarks at that point.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Kusie.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, I'd like to thank the Leader of the Official Opposition for this birthday card that he gave me last week. Those well wishes were very well received, so I'm grateful for that. I want to start by saying I just want to follow up on my colleague's comments. I think that this motion follows a theme that we've had in this committee, and that is to search for accountability from not only departments, but fundamentally ministers. It actually would have been my desire that we would have seen all departments that had contracts with GC Strategies, their ministers show up at this committee, but unfortunately we didn't have that opportunity. But I think given this report specifically at Global Affairs Canada, it behooves us to call in the minister to defend the procurement within this department. And with that, Mr. Chair, I would actually encourage all departments to perhaps conduct the same exercise within their respective departments to really internally look at what is going on in their departments and how money is being spent, because that is fundamentally what this committee is about, is ensuring the funds that were granted out of trust by the Canadian people were well spent by departments who are fundamentally overseen by their ministers. And so to me, the appearance of the minister would absolutely be in alignment with the mandate of this committee and the oversight for which this committee has the responsibility of. Now, my second point, Mr. Chair, comes from my personal experience as a management consular officer at Foreign Affairs Canada, which was then DFAT, which was then DFAT-D, which, pardon me, is now Global Affairs Canada. But as a former management consular officer, Mr. Chair, I can tell you that the audit team at Global Affairs Canada is the best that there is. They go into missions, they go into departments, they leave no stone unturned in terms of their evaluation. And I can truly say that their work is invaluable. And I give them thanks and credit for shining this light on the department, for having the courage to bring this information forward. Because really that is the job of a bureaucrat, one of which I proudly was for close to a decade and a half, is to not only do the work of the Canadian people, Mr. Chair, but also to speak truth to power. And I feel in bringing forward this brave group of public servants at Global Affairs Canada is bringing truth to power. And I was also, I'll add, Mr. Chair, very proud to be the interim director of a sister group of this audit group during my time at Global Affairs Canada. So the quality of this work and the objective of this work, I am in strong support of, and I give thanks to, and I would like the minister to be held to account for what this outstanding group uncovered. And my final comment is, Mr. Chair, is that certainly the ongoing role of the Minister of Foreign Affairs has been one of relations external to Canada, which my colleagues would agree with me. I believe we have seen to be reactive. They have not been consistent. They have not come from a place of consistent values, as we saw with the previous government, with the Harper government. And I'm very excited about the return to a values-based foreign affairs platform in a future poly of government. But what the minister did make her mandate is revitalization of Global Affairs Canada, and with that supposedly a new hope, a hope that the members of the Canadian Foreign Service and public servants at Global Affairs Canada could have faith in the work that their department is doing. And yet this audit team uncovered cracks, uncovered faults, uncovered areas that need to be improved upon. Foreign Affairs Canada, Global Affairs Canada serves as the emissaries of Canada to the world, serves as the foundation of values, Mr. Chair, for Canada. And one of the fundamental values of Canada under a poly of government will be value for money. And yet this procurement report did not show that this was so, did not show that this work was always conducted in an ethical manner. So if the very heart of our foreign policy, of where it is conducted, is being completed in this manner, that's a problem. That's a problem, Mr. Chair. And Canadians deserve answers from the chief diplomat, from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And we need to bring her in here to be held to account for what this incredible audit team uncovered. I think it's very important as it serves of a beacon
Melanie Joly,
within the government itself currently, to show that they are willing to take account for their work and improve upon it, but on the very foundation of our values here in Canada, which Global Affairs Canada is, which is supposed to act as a light, a guiding light for the rest of Canada. In this instance, it was not the case. And so we need the Minister of Foreign Affairs here to account for that, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Well said.